Thank you for sharing your Wednesday night with me. It is AfroEconomics Live, and I am JB Bryan, President and Chief Investment Officer and hard worker, custodian, cleanup person, receptionist, treasurer, tax preparer, and I promise you, I will do whatever is necessary for my firm to survive for the rest of my natural and extended spiritual beyond my lifetime life. Yes, indeed, that is me, of JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics. This is a great opportunity to share some empowerment that I hope will change your entire life. There's one thing that I can tell you that I did not do. Now, I started my firm in 1995. So I have been an independent investment advisor, owning one of the few Black-owned registered investment advisory firms on this planet. So from 1995, you can imagine how many different economic times I have been through. So I am thankful to God for this opportunity to talk to you about something that I never have had that opportunity for someone to do for me. The only reason that AfroEconomics exists is because God is using me to share a message that needs to be shared with our community continuously, and with a passion and with a commitment to your economic and wealth development. That's what it's about. Let's making sure that our life impacts someone who will not meet us. I want us to make a commitment to that my existence will be felt by someone who will not meet me, but will know my name from what we did during the time that we were alive, from what we did and what we did not do. What we don't do is just as important as what we do when it comes to wealth development and the first principle of AfroEconomics, legacy, of making sure that we have a strong legacy. Now, check this out. The book, make sure you get access to it. Join AfroEconomics as even a no excuse member. You know, we had a person join just as I was logging in, Ms. Davis. She joined, you know, and we have a full member, not the free membership, a full financial planning member. Ms. Davis, shout out to you. Hey, I'm loving it. There are some people who I have to talk to repeatedly. That sister has watched and been involved in the empowerment through AfroEconomics and did that thing, because this is an opportunity. But when you're a no excuse or a full member, you get the book for free. The ebook can be downloaded even by the no excuse members. So because I don't want us to have any excuse for not being financially empowered. That's the reason that it is free. The kids book, this book, and of course you can go on and buy it in printed form, or as a member, even a no excuse, you get the printed one for half price. So come on, y'all. I'm on your side. We're a team. Hey, Ms. Wanzer, Ms. Turner, yes, indeed, Ms. Kaya, Ms. McGee, Mr. McGee. We got a lot of McGee's spelled differently as well. Yeah, and Ms. Davis, Ms. Butcher, the Andersons, Ms. Butler, Ms. Grant. You know, if I'm looking like over in the corner, because that's where it comes down. I got Ms. Davis, Ms. Jordan, hey, and it is our day on Facebook. And we go way back, like when she was in college, which is amazing. I remember meeting her parents, and they were like, you know, this was probably, wow, yeah, probably at least, yeah, like over 20 years ago. Yeah, and she was in college, and this is our day on Facebook. So, hey, shout out to Miss Jordan, Miss Cotman, Miss Booker, Mr. Cotman, and Miss Cotman, not even related, right? Miss Booker, Stembridge, Miss Freeman, Miss Hayes, Miss Robinson, oh my goodness, Mr. Yarbrough, right? And a guest. Hey, Daisy, thank you for hanging out with us. Y'all should invite your guests. You really should. Bring more guests along. Mr. Jefferson, Mr. Jordan, Mr. Martin, Miss Hargrove. I'm going to see you tomorrow at the office, Miss Hargrove. Miss Turner. Oh, wow. The Andersons again. Yes, indeed. And then Mr. Lewis, how are you all doing? Miss Crockett, we need to get together. Dr. Arundel, Mr. Montgomery, Emmanuel. Look, y'all, this is a blessing, but I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not making this up. Travis, Miss Douglas, Miss Moore, how are you? Miss Sweden, Miss Brown. I think I skipped when I stopped, and I'm sorry if I skipped anybody. Miss Walton. Now you know we go back. Dr. Williams, Miss Neal, Mr. and Mrs. Clinton. The Lomaxes, Mr. Lomax better be watching too. UVA, yes, right. Miss Halsey, Mr. Robinson, and Mr. Piercy. Yeah, Mr. Piercy, I got some information somebody left in my office about that golf tournament. And then I haven't even had a chance, to look at it. But definitely, thank you all for what you do. Make sure the blackhealthblackwealth.com, register now for the event. Right, Delia? It is going to be a day party. I'm not even exaggerating. DJ Drake from the station, the radio station. The radio station itself is going to be there. We're gonna have a remote, we're gonna have the DJ and the music, we'll have line dancing, we got an aerobics instructor, we have Healthy Hearts, mommies coming, we're collecting diapers. So everybody bring diapers for the babies. Healthy Heart Plus is also, they're bringing food, the organic food. I'm bringing the bad food and cake and stuff. Look. So yeah, healthy cake that we can work off, but so it's going to be a great day, and also absolutely free because of your support for the membership and because of you being a client, and because AfroEconomics clients and members make this all possible. We're giving it back. Yes, indeed. So let's get into it. Let's get this party started. So one thing I want to make sure that I've been meditating on all day. I was listening to this brother, and he's on YouTube, and his name is Ralph Smart, and I think he's of African descent. And then I was like, this is so me. He said, I take care of the village, and the village takes care of me. And I was like, that is so true. I take care of AfroEconomics, and AfroEconomics takes care of me. Like I was saying about with Black Health, Black Wealth. And we can have these free events because AfroEconomics takes care of the village, and the village takes care of AfroEconomics, right? And I also want us to know that even though we are discussing economic downturns and things that happen when the economy is weak and how to protect ourselves from a weak economy, I just want us to know that the greatest secret of my life has been when I discovered that everything works out for our good. I know that everything will work out for your good. I know that regardless of what happens, when it looks like it is the worst day, that it will work out for your good. I have that much confidence. I am that much of living proof of how much God can do with your life. I just know that. So just know that. So now it leads me into saying that nearly 3 out of 4 economists that were surveyed by the National Association of Business Economics, they said, now 3 out of 4, that's 75%, said they expect a recession by 2021. That's going to tell us what? It's a long time. So we have no excuse if this does happen for not taking advantage of the things that we're constantly discussing in AfroEconomics. We got all this stuff going on. Inflation fears, trade talking stuff, political stuff, international stuff. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And that we've seen this over the years, that events like this political stuff, we've got the election coming up that can influence the stock market and the stock prices in the short term or in the obvious or for us, and we don't even know how long. But when you hear that the markets are reacting or falling 800 or falling 700, that they're reacting to the news, we have to remember that the market's reactions are just a common occurrence, but they're not necessarily relevant to your specific individual financial goals. We have to remember this. So while the market going up and down and wobbling is scary to us, we have to know that this is all I do. And I'm keeping a watch eye on everything that's going on in the market on your behalf, specifically for the members that I'm serving each day and my clients that I'm serving each day. That is my job. And most importantly, I'm on the lookout for what's coming up, what's emerging over the long term, and how that might impact your portfolio more specifically over the long term. And if there is something that is relevant to you specifically, I want you to know that I will contact you. And for us as a group, that's why we have our weekly membership meetings, that we discuss these things. We discuss these things. So I have learned so much over the years during good and not so good economic times. And that I thought that I would do this because this is something that I didn't do in 2006 or 2007, as we were heading into what is known now as the Great Recession. So I want us to consider tonight's discussion as how we can develop a recession protection plan, right? How are you going to protect yourself? And I think that that's why we have this tremendous participation tonight, because you, like me, want to make sure that we learn from past situations. Now remember in 2007, 2008, and I had like this huge amount of debt. And I've discovered as a small business owner, and I didn't see it really said earlier on, but it was saying like small businesses, like Black people, we feel the impact of the recession way before everybody else. Like, so we might see, like there might be talking about how everybody's making so much money, but then as Black people, we say, well, they're not hiring anymore, or my kids can't find any work and they're getting out of college, or these debts are getting higher and higher. I can't find anywhere to invest my money, or I can't find anywhere to save my money where they're paying me any interest rates. Like these things may impact us, pretty quickly, and we take it for granted. And we don't, we're not really thinking about, wow, what am I feeling here? What do I need to do in order to protect myself and my family? What can I do? So my first suggestion for our recession protection plan so that we don't have to be caught off guard and that we do receive that things are changing. Things are changing. And one thing we know for sure, nothing lasts always. So everything that we're going to talk about are things that we need to do regardless if the recession is in 2021 or 2020 or right now. So let's first reevaluate or just evaluate your spending. Are you double income with kids, double income without kids, single income with kids, or single, just single with no kids? You know, where are you? Where are you? So we need to evaluate where you are, especially if you're double income with kids and you have these two incomes coming in and you're living off both of the incomes. You're in a perfect situation to learn how to adjust to just living off one income. Because if we indeed go into a recession and businesses and the government and everyone starts cutting back, they're going to cut jobs. And who do they cut first? Typically, the job cuts impact us a lot. So we have to be careful, and we still deal with the challenge of being underemployed right now, of being more educated than what the job that you have requires. That's underemployed, and that's a challenge for our community. So if we get into another bad time where it's even harder, you're already, just to say, you're already underemployed. We reach a time where businesses aren't hiring as many people, are not getting the raises as much, and then it gets even harder. Then you will have already prepared for living below my means, living off just one check, or adjusting your spending. Are you wasting money? Right? Look at your spending. Look at it now. Set up priorities for your financial life. Like who would say, who would think, what do you think are priorities? Those of you who are in the webinar right now, inbox me on if there were a cutback right now, what are the things you feel like you would have to have, right? Other than your Netflix account. I'm just joking. No one said their Netflix account. But what would, be, your priority? What would you have to have? So what are those? Now that you've evaluated your spending and you realize that you are spending a whole lot of money every weekend on just going out, using that Nordstrom's card, using that Dillard's card, buying new suits or dresses or clothes, every week. What are some things that you could change? So, and what are your spending priorities? Things that I think you need to make sure that we have in place now: life insurance, health insurance, protecting your assets like your home, your renters, your auto, having your insurances straight, thinking about those. A second point is to protect your income. So that first point is to reevaluate your spending, and then setting up priorities, and then protecting your assets by making sure that you have, like, a life insurance is protecting your asset. Your life is an asset, and you're protecting your family that's depending on you for income. So if you have a death before you've accumulated all the money that your family will need, you need to have proper life insurance. And even if we're in a recession, we need to make sure that you have and keep affordable life insurance. Going through times like that is when people start cutting out things that are extremely necessary. like that, life insurance, or they'll say, oh, I really don't need that, or they'll get rid of their long-term care protection, or get rid of their disability protection, or get rid of, their protections. Make sure that they're affordable and correctly within your budget at times when it's good. So that make sure you set them up correctly in the first place, right? A huge part that I didn't even put in here, but your health, protecting your health, protecting your health, protecting your health. A second point is create additional sources of income, protecting your income. If things do get tight, if the job of, for some reason you lose, your job, creating additional sources of income will help you so that you're not just depending on that one job. So, turning your hobbies into income, turning a room into your house, a spare room that you may have, into renting out that space to someone that you know. It doesn't have, don't think horrible, like it has to be a stranger, but you may have a spare room that can bring you in another $500, $600 a month. Well, depending on where you're located, maybe $1,000. But looking at ways to create extra income, because we give away a whole lot, because of not taking your talents as seriously as you should, right? So we want to create extra income. Mr. Benta, you are soliciting during my workshop. You see him like selling things. That's right. Go ahead, brother. And the necessities, food, clothing, shelter. That's right, Miss Crockett. Yes, indeed. Look, I said no. I said necessities are life insurance. You are exactly right. Miss Crockett said clothing too. I know that's important, because I bet your wardrobe, every time I see a picture of you, you look marvelous. Yes, indeed. But I know exactly what you mean. And in addition to that food, that shelter, yes, Gloria, food and water, yes. So we protect our income, we'll be able to protect that. And then looking at some of the even less obvious things that we just skip over are some of those asset protection ideas as well. And then, so a third point is to making sure that you add now to your emergency fund. One of the best things that any household can do to protect your finances from economic changes is to have savings. Have that emergency fund. Do not rely on getting credit cards or a loan to take care of an emergency, right? It's a key way. Your emergency fund is a key way to prepare for future financial insecurity. So, and it is obvious that people overlook it. Everybody knows they need to have an emergency fund, but everybody, not everybody, we too often take it for granted. Keep your emergency fund tight. Take the advice from right now. Get it together. If you don't have one, get it together now. If they're saying that by 2021, then if that is true, just start saving right now. You're going to have more than if you don't. And Lord knows the best emergency fund is to stop adding to your credit cards. Don't put anything else on. That's my number 4. Avoid credit cards and loans. Try by any means necessary to commit to not taking out any more debt, no matter how attractive they make it seem to you. Unless you're refinancing something to get into a lower interest rate, then make sure you are very careful. Right? Be very careful. Now, and I don't know, I hope that I have it as one of my points. I guess it would understand form, but I'm going to say this right now, that we need to, during these times, make sure that we set up an efficient use of the debts that we have. If you are in adjustable rates right now, you need to be locking them in. You need to be locking in at these extremely low interest rates that we have. You need to be locking in long-term. Long-term is fine. You can get your payments down. This is definitely something that you need to be considering. Don't just, oh, I want to pay my house off in 15 years, so I'm not going to do the 30-year. Well, if we're going into a recession and there's the possibility that you might lose your job, or if you have your own business, there's a possibility that business will slow down. Don't put yourself in a position where you may have to refinance again. Make and create the smallest possible payment now at the best possible interest rate now and make extra payments. Seek financial advice. And we can talk to each about your specific concern. But I really feel passionately about that we need to be more careful about how we're signing on that dotted line. I am in business today because before that last recession, and I just saw business, for some reason, I'm just so thankful. I just saw business slowing down. And for some reason, I thought it was just me. I was like, oh, well, business is slowing down. I guess I'll get rid of some of my debt. And I did. But I had no idea that it was not just me. So I ask you to know that it is not just you, that it is impacting, what things that happen, it impacts everyone. You know what I'm saying? It just, they might not know, or we have to be more aware, but I took serious steps to make sure that I got rid of any debt that I have as soon as I saw it slowing down. If not, there's no way things will be the same for me. Just no way. I just said, you know what? I think that I want to be debt free, and I just totally repositioned. I was like, this is, it's like all of a sudden I woke up and I realized that if you have a lot of debt, because one thing that you cannot control as an employee or as an employer, you cannot control how much is coming in. We can make as much effort as we want, but it is what it is. If people are not making money, people cannot spend money or invest money. So definitely I made that proper adjustment. It's like things sometimes are happening to us and we don't respond to them. If you see some things happen, or if you see your lack of interest in your job, or you see these things happening that you don't really like that work, or you know that you're doing something you should not be doing, don't force yourself to continue to spend the rest of your life in pain. Make adjustments. If you feel like so many people are doing work that they hate, so you're hurting the entire world, because God put all of us here for a purpose. So you have a responsibility to the world to do what you are put here to do. But if you go in debt, you can't do that. And my thing was, this is what I'm put here to do. So I am not going to allow debt to stop me from living my full life, from being the servant to my people that I've been put here to do. I'm not going to allow debt to put me out of business. I'm not going to allow all of this money they just threw at me to do that. No, so I had to make a full commitment that I was going to adjust. No more offers will I accept. No more business lines of credit will I accept. No more commercial vehicles would I buy. No more. I was just going to shut it down, and I did. But you have to make that commitment that I want things, if you want things to be different, we have to take the steps to make it different. So that is just my point, that avoid debt. Avoid debt. You do not. And I'm in a situation where I don't have that bad luxury of being able to, even if I wanted to file bankruptcy, because that's against my licenses. I mean, there might be some people that are in the business that have done that, but I don't think a Black person or Black woman would be able to succeed successfully in a business, but with that on the record. You know, it's hard enough for us, and we have to make sure that everything goes back to discipline, choices. It's amazing. It's the little things, though. So we have to figure out the most efficient method of repayment of debts, the most efficient way of how to lock in interest rates to make payments affordable, and get those things set up now. Yes, a lot of people lost a lot of stuff because of being in variable interest rates in the past. You know, they're real attractive now. They're real attractive now. I'm sure, you know, a lot of you probably might have some where it's a variable line of credit that they gave you, and they're calling you and like, here, I have one client, he said that the bank called him and said, you know, you either have to take all this money right now or we're going to close the window of opportunity. You know, I mean, they're trying to get some money, make some money now. They got to get those profits up. They make money off you taking out loans, and they will take everything you bought with it. They will take it back. And my fifth point is to do an investment portfolio checkup. Make your savings and your investments work harder for you. You know, that you need to make sure that if you're in an opportunity, you have a lot of cash, you need to be talking to your investment advisor or talking to me as your investment advisor. Talk to me about how to get better returns on your savings, how to get better returns on your investments. Why aren't you even considering that this could be a buying opportunity? That this could be a time for you to continue your systematic approach to investing. This could be the time for you to get in, but in order for you to do that, you have to have the cash. You have to have the savings. You have to have the portfolio. You can't do a portfolio checkup without having a portfolio, right? So make sure that you know what your investments are doing in relation to inflation. And do you understand inflation? And do you know how to outpace inflation? Do you know what has historically been best at outpacing inflation? Do you know the fees, expenses associated with that portfolio that you left back somewhere? And you just listen to me, but you're not doing anything. You're still wasting your money and losing money somewhere else. And you haven't even taken the time to talk to an independent registered investment advisor here to serve you. We have to be proactive. And my final point is to stay informed, right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff in the news right now, you know, and the government might change stuff for retirement accounts before the end of the year. You might, the election might have a big impact on the stock market or the trade markets or everything. So let's stay informed. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it harder. I'm going to do everything I can to be better and better and better. I'm not letting up. Don't expect this to change. I'm going to get every bit of information that I get, all that I can share with you, I'm going to bring it. If you want to stay informed, please consider this as an avenue for financial empowerment and information. And I'll continue to bring it. I'll definitely continue to bring it. But, you know, just stay strong, stay informed, stay empowered, be proactive, right? Just to summarize, our recession protection plan is to evaluate our spending, look at what we're doing, set up that budget, set up priorities, look at how we're going to protect our assets through good and bad times. Look at your sources of income. Look at how you can create additional income. It can add to your emergency account, create an emergency account. Avoid credit cards, avoid loans, avoid debt. We got to be careful. I got a child going to college next year. You know, these things are real. Do a checkup on your investment portfolio and stay informed to stay empowered, right? Oh, KB, I love you and all you do. Mr. Robinson, that's why I won't take on any more credit. I know that's right. They offer it to you on a daily basis. Good for you, Mr. Robinson. Exactly. Tell them, no, JB Bryan said, no, not me. Take it somewhere else. That's right. It takes discipline. Yes, indeed. Or somebody said, oh yeah, Miss Crockett. Yes, it does. It takes discipline. Yes, indeed. I love it. Yes, indeed. Oh, wow. Oh, yes. Well, thank you. Look, it's funny when y'all say agree, and then I come back and look at comments all late. I appreciate y'all so much. That is AfroEconomics, and I am JB Bryan. Make sure that you check out the podcast. You go to the AfroEconomics.com and go down to the podcast channel, and on your way to work, we can do the podcast. I'll also have the book on full audio. So definitely. Oh, no, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Williams. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. So check out every tool that you can get and then download the app. I'm trying to do more and more stuff with the app. I've had that app for a while. It's a great way to click into the membership site. It's a great way to get into the events calendar. And before you know it, I also can send notifications out that way. So, but I have to get everybody with the app. So download the app. It's absolutely free. Love, love, love back at you, KB. Yes, indeed. Oh, Miss Lomax, thank you. Well, thank you. I'm glad I could provide confirmation. Oh, Mr. Robinson just downloaded the app. And my gift to you is the free app. Yes, indeed. I hope you'll get the book. If you don't, email me, jb@JB Bryan, and I will also send you a free copy of the book. But sign up for membership, and you can get the book that way as well. Much love back to you, Gloria. Hi, Monica. I appreciate you as well. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. I appreciate you. Oh, you signed up for membership. Well, great. So now that you have it, you log in as the member, and then go into the download center, and all of the books, the kids' books are there too. The kids' book and the, I don't know if I'll put the kids' coloring book up there. I need to make sure I do, but the kids' book, which is for coloring, and then I did just a separate coloring book. So it's not necessary because the kids' book, you get more than the coloring books. You get the front copy. Love the kids' book. It's all out there for free. Please download it. Lots of color though. It'll use up the ink. You can also order the book itself for half price as a member. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Oh, thank you, Ms. Douglas. She did the half clap hand. Yes, indeed. Oh, thank you. Have a good night, everybody. God bless y'all. Talk to you all soon.